Pato versus XIAOT. Brazil versus China. Where are the fans out there? You guys ready to see this?
Wow.
The crowd looks pumped. There's even fans out there holding up signs. We have signs for XIAOT. Where are the signs for Brazil?
Oh, there you go.
You're on TV!
Very nice. I wish I could read that sign now to know what it said. This game, there's a big, big following out there for XIAOT, and I wonder whether something like that could play on Pato's mind.
I don't know, looking at Pato right now, he is focused. He's ready to take it on. I don't think he's too worried about the crowd. If I could read Chinese, I'd tell you what that sign said, but I'm guessing it probably says, "Go XIAOT!"
Here we go, we are underway. Look at this. Got Pato spawning in the red on the top right-hand side of your map. Over on the top left, we have XIAOT in blue. And, I got to put you right on the spot here. This is a close, this game. Who's your money on?
Oh, I don't want to be biased here. I think that I'm not going to give my prediction on live here on the stage with this many fans from China. So I'll reserve my opinion here. But what we have is Night Elf versus Orc right now. Looking at the position, Pato has spawned at the 2 o'clock, XIAOT at the 10 o'clock. My guess is, I know Pato really well. In fact, I'm in the same team as he is, which is United 5. I have a good idea what strategy he will go. I'm not quite sure what XIAOT will go, though, but from Pato, the Night Elf player, expect to see the Demon Hunter opening up in this game. Also expect to see the Beastmaster, and if he gets a chance to get a third hero, we'll be seeing the Tinker. So standard strategy will be coming from Pato. You're going to see archers, possibly Drew the Talons, and for XIAOT, it's really hard for me to say until we go a bit further in the game what I see that he's going to go.
Now, while we're in the early moments of this match, there's some scouting going on. Let's take this opportunity to give a big thank you to all the people that make this event possible. First of all, the global sponsor Samsung, then the event premier sponsors Intel and Razer, and then other sponsors Singtel and Video Pro. This event could not be possible without the great support that they and the admins provide. And, they make great matches like this one truly possible as Pato sets up a wisp right in the tree next to XIAOT's base, which a little sneaky move there, which he's going to move him out now.
He's going to do some spying. He's putting his wisp there before XIAOT hits his hero. He probably wants to see what hero he chooses to go. And earlier in a glance, I saw that XIAOT chose to go the Farseer. Now this is a surprise to me because my guess was that XIAOT was going to go the Blade Master first. I was thinking the standard Orc strategy, which is Blade Master, possibly Tauren Chieftain or Shadow Hunter with Grunts, Raiders, and Spirit Walkers. But I don't see the Blade Master coming from XIAOT. Instead, I see the Farseer, who is already heading out down south of the map right now to do quick creeping.
That Spirit Wolf is going to give chase to the Archer right in the center of the map. Spirit Wolf relentless in his pressure, taking about 60 HP off that already, but the Archer will get out of there with just her life and maybe a few scratches on the leg there, but nothing to be worried about. Now, looking on the south of the map, both the heroes out, A scouting and B creeping out, and now it's just a question of building up, like we saw in the last match, build up your units, level up your heroes, and then get it on. Neither player, so at the early stage, has gone harassing.
This is really nice to see what XIAOT is doing right here. He does expect to be harassed. As you see Pato moving over on the left-hand side, he wants to harass XIAOT while he's creeping, but XIAOT chose to walk all the way down south to the right bottom part of the map to do his creeping where the Murlocs are. As they are being taken down, he wants to try and level up his Farseer and buy time before the Demon Hunter finds him. And look, it's going to pay off. He's going to finish creeping. There is a wisp of Pato there. Pato finally has discovered the location of XIAOT, but before he's able to bring his Demon Hunter down, XIAOT will take the run.
That's very clever there by XIAOT, just to, I don't want any trouble. I want to be peaceful on this map. Let's all be friends. He did not want to find himself an enemy there. And, it's a very clever play there to make sure that he was not being harassed, so that he could continue with his own job there.
Right, so right now we have XIAOT trying to continue on to do some more creeping. The Demon Hunter Pato heads over to the Goblin Merchant Shop, picks up his boots of speed. He's continuing to do his harassment right now. Back at home, he's building up his army as archers, as I mentioned before, as he's teching over to Tier 2. We'll see some Ancients of Winds being put up soon for Pato. While XIAOT here sticking with Grunts right now. Don't know if he will go Raiders or if he'll stick to Spirit Walkers later or not, but he just wants to creep and level up his Farseer in peace.
Now we do see the creeping continue. That Wisp has just edged its way back into our viewers. It will continue scouting out and will then detonate itself, in fact. Now the creeps will take a heavy beating from that Spirit Wolf, and now we will see the Demon Hunter making a move to the east following that following that Wisp detonation. Now again, we see more movement from Shouty, continuing his creeping on the lower side of his base, and now he is going to finally meet up with the Demon Hunter that he's been running from.
Shouty here is actually starting off with a good start. He was multitasking earlier. He has his grunts at home, creeping the gnolls right side of his base. He has his Farseer out stealing the creeps of Pato. Farseer in a little bit of trouble though, running low on HP, runs over to the shop, picks up a staff of teleportation, will try to run away, gets Mana Burn down to 83 HP, and will TP out. So he's back at home, safe, runs to his Voodoo Lounge, where he picks up some healing salves, now picking up a second hero. He will be going the Tauren Chieftain, placing down his Bestiary. So yes, we will be seeing some Raiders coming from Shouty. As we have now in Pato's base, reaching at Tier 2, he's placed down his Ancient of Wonder, coming back in to try and continue doing some more harassment. Level 2 on the Demon Hunter right now, level 2 on the Farseer. Farseer in the very clear back though, trying to heal up from his salve, and thinks Pato doesn't want to harass, so he will back off.
Pato rendezvous with his archers, and in fact the archers will now retreat back to their bases. The Demon Hunter will continue his job. Second hero is up for Pato, though. We can't get a clear view on that just yet. Now, Pato getting taken a few strikes from the grunt there, but he'll just back away, and this is exactly what he wants to do. He wants to be annoying. He has gone for the Beastmaster. He just wants to be a thorn in the side of his opponent.
Yes, he's trying to buy time here as his Beastmaster's out creeping with the archers. He wants to level that Beastmaster up, but he also wants to keep Shouty in his base. He does not want that Tauren Chieftain to level up either, because once the Tauren Chieftain reaches level 3, he'll be faced with Shockwave, a bunch of area of effect. So here is why he's back in the main base, preventing Shouty from creeping with his Tauren Chieftain out while he's out leveling up his Beastmaster. Look at that annoyance.
Annoyance, what a shame. Now he's gonna move down. That Demon Hunter is gonna keep charging in on that Tauren Chieftain, who's backed up by just 2 grunts, and they'll just continue that. Now the Farseer of level 2 and about 2/3 will continue on. More Wisp just moving out. Pato rotating his units out, and both armies are pretty mobile here from getting out of their base. No one is stagnant at all.
Not too much. Shouty, though, is not going to let that harassment slow him down. He's got his Farseer still out creeping, going for the Murlocs, has his grunts with him, finally meeting up with his Tauren Chieftain. The Demon Hunter was successful in slowing that Tauren Chieftain down, but now that the Tauren Chieftain's with the rest of Shouty's army, I don't think there's a whole lot he can do. Beastmaster out here creeping with the archers, now up to level 2, picks up a Scroll of Beast. There again, the Demon Hunter moving back in. He does not want that Tauren Chieftain to creep.
No, he is literally a real harasser right there. He moves himself away, and we'll just continue. The grunts will, protect and give good company to that Tauren Chieftain, and now it's going to be...
Sorry about that there. It looks like Pato was too busy harassing that Tauren Chieftain. In comes Shouty with his Farseer. Sees the Beastmaster so low on HP. Takes a kill there, and Snare was casted on him. And that Beastmaster of Pato was just taken down. Not looking good. What you see here now is Shouty is going to apply pressure onto Pato. This is actually very important for an Orc player, because he knows that Pato will be going Mass Druid of the Talons. He does not want to be faced with Mass Cyclone. So this is why he's going to try and slow down Pato, see if he can, he took down the Beastmaster, but also see if he can slow down the tech to tier 2.
So how much is that going to affect Pato right now? Because, it's a great early move there, but, what could it cost him in the long run from what Shouty could gain while that Beastmaster is down?
Well, right now, the only thing that Pato can do is buy time. He needs to get to tier 3 so that he can get Cyclone on those Druid of the Talons, because this is how Night Elf players play against Orc. His Beastmaster has been taken down, but it's not going to slow him down too much. He's still in the middle of his tech to Tree of Eternity. He's still pumping out the Druid of the Talons. This is where he wants to avoid Shouty.
So the initial plan of pure harassment to that Tauren Chieftain does not look like it will bear fruits whatsoever. Both armies out once again. We did see a small expansion attempted there, but on the southeastern part of the map, and but we have got a continued creeping movement going on by the raid units of Pato now, and with that Beastmaster back, he's trying to pick up where he left off.
Pato has to be careful here because Xiaoti's coming back in again to do some harassment. There goes a Raider that's very low on HP. Demon Hunter also low on HP. Better watch out before he gets ensnared. Shockwave goes off. Pato knows he cannot fight right now, so he will TP out. Smart move there by Pato. If he stayed in that battle, he would have sacrificed a lot of units in his army. He did not want to do that. Again, this is where he wants to avoid Xiaoti. Xiaoti, though, now looks like he is using a staff of teleportation to head back home, so his Tauren Chieftain can purchase some more items. Picked up some clarity potions. We have an expansion attempt here by Xiaoti. Places down a Great Hall over at the bottom left-hand corner, but Pato wants to stop it. Had an Ancient of War being built the whole time. Now he's going to uproot it and start attacking it. So we'll see if Xiaoti will protect that or not. In the main base of Xiaoti, continue to go Raiders. I didn't see any Spirit Walkers being built yet, but I wasn't paying attention. We have Tree of Eternity now up for Pato. He's researching Cyclone. This is what he needs. Here's the army of archers. He's got his Beastmaster here to help him out with summons, because what he's going to do here is use his Demon Hunter, his Beastmaster, and if he gets a Tinker, those will be his main tank along with the summons.
Xiaoti really has had the best of the early exchanges just now, but Pato is going to come under fire. His Ancient of War is going to be chased down as that Ancient of War tries to attack the expansion, but moving through the center of the map now is that level 3 Farseer of Xiaoti, retreating back to their base. It will be the Beastmaster and Demon Hunter of Pato moving south to try and move on to that expansion.
Yes, Pato wants to take that expansion now. He just passed through the center. I don't know if he picked up his Tinker yet, but I expect to see a third hero coming from Pato. His Ancient of War is still alive, trying to buy time, forcing Xiaoti to use 3 of his. There we go. There's a Tinker. Tinker now moving on in. This is where he has the control. He wants to take that expansion down. He is ready to fight. He's got Cyclone. He's got his 3 heroes, and this is where Xiaoti wants to force Pato home. He wants to keep his expansion over there, so he's running on in now, going for the Tree of Life. Pato has to make a decision here. Does he want to take the expansion down, or will he save his Tree of Eternity? He's got his whip all popped out now, trying to repair. Tree of Eternity now being focused on. Xiaoti is trying to force him back. Will he get the expansion down? Focusing on the expansion. I don't think Pato will get it down in time. Still focusing on it. TP. Expansion stays up for Xiaoti, and Xiaoti TP's out. Nice play.
Great stuff by Xiaoti there, coming in right in the nick of time, and those grunts right in the middle of the Cyclone there. It does look like, though, that Ancient of War may just be able to do enough damage to that Great Hall. It's down to about 48 HP with every slug that comes into it, but now, as the grunts come back, they are going to get repairs in, and here come the retreating forces of the blue army of Xiaoti. He's going to strike down on that Ancient of War. The Ancient of War down to just 20 HP and will fall. Xiaoti really on top form right now.
Xiaoti gets to keep that expansion of his, and the crowd is pleased. So now Pato has to make a quick decision. He's got his 3 heroes out. He's heading over now to Xiaoti's base. He knows that Xiaoti is down there. Just use his Scroll of Town portal to go back home. He's far away. He's going to have to run to the shop if he needs to get another Scroll of Town portal to go back home, because in comes Pato right now. 46 pop, Beastmaster summoning the units as Pato moves on in. Here we have a decision for Xiaoti. Will he save his main base, or will he go over to Pato's base and take advantage?
Pato now really going on the aggressive, but at that very note, he will back off and will just move back to his own base, because here come the blue units of Xiaoti once again, moving straight into the center of that base. The Tree of Eternity has been fully repaired back up to 2,000, but will now take fire from Xiaoti. Xiaoti coming in from the west side, just moving up. He's taken a lot of fire to that Tree of Eternity already, lost 50% of its HP already, and as he continues to keep that fire down, it's a question now of if, not when, will that Tree of Eternity go down to 200? Xiaoti's on form right now. He's going to get it down. Good stuff by Xiaoti.
Xiaoti takes down the Tree of Eternity from Pato. He does not have a Scroll of Town portal on him. Was forced to run all the way back. Does Xiaoti have a Scroll of Town portal? He does. Takes the Tree of Eternity down and will now run. Xiaoti here is trying to avoid Pato. Knows that Pato has an army full of Druid of the Talons right now. If he engages in battle head on, all of his units will be flying in the air. So instead, he's going to slow Pato down in resources. Now Pato cannot build anymore. He's stuck at the food count that he's at. Xiaoti here at 67 pop is back at home, has his expansion, now has his advantage here because Pato is stuck. So Pato has no choice but to do an attack. No Scroll of Town portal on that Demon Hunter. Pato is just going to go ahead and walk on in. He has to end the game now, because otherwise he will be in trouble.
Shouty has played a very, very clever game so far. I don't think there's any doubt about that. His technique has been fantastic, but he's about to come under siege from the Red Demon Hunter of Pato. It will be the Tauren Chieftain that took one shot, but they will move away. We have that Raider leading the charge in as they head down towards the Goblin Merchant, but the Red Army is sieging up behind him. Forward comes the Demon Hunter, about to lead that charge in. For Ingo, the Raiders just leading the charge toward this battle, and this could be it right now. They're going head to head. The Raiders just been tossed up in the air with that Cyclone, and it's going hand to hand in this combat.
Shouty is now ready to fight, guys. Does not have a scroll of Town Portal on him. Picks up a scroll of healing. Cyclone now being used. Raiders are in the air. He used his scroll of protection. Mana Burn goes off on the Farseer. Just used his scroll of healing. Pocket Factory is now casted. Not a good position for Pato right now. He needs his tank in the front. Shouty's going to go ahead and run away. He has Fairy Fire casted all over his units. He doesn't have a TP. He's on the run. Pato has to gain advantage right now. Raiders are ensnaring the heroes of Pato to slow his army down. Demon Hunter in the very front. Looks like he may get surrounded here. He does get surrounded. The Demon Hunter does not have a scroll of Town Portal. Pato is in trouble. Puts down a Pocket Factory. There goes the Demon Hunter. Cyclone in the air. And down goes that Demon Hunter. Pato's not going to give up. Pato actually is still alive. He's not dead yet. Cyclone's in the air. There we go. Pato goes up to the Demon Hunter.
That is incredible right there from what was a great position for Pato. Suddenly reversed to Shouty, and Shouty now going to go for the encirclement. Pato going to encircle Shouty's Tauren Chieftain, and he's going to get it. Equalization. One hero apiece hits the deck, and we have a game on right now, and Pato might just be in the insurgency.
Pato's got to gain advantage right here. He has Cyclone. He's tossing the Farseer in the air. Farseer has no TP on him at all. He will be surrounded. That Farseer is in trouble, guys. Being focused on. Down goes the Farseer. Shouty. This game is so close. Pato has no longer a Tree of Eternity. His main base is revealed. This is where he wants to go in and finish Shouty, because right now Shouty has expansion. He wants to try and eliminate the base of Pato. So the Raiders are now moving on in, buying time, hoping that he'll get his heroes back in time, but the Druid of the Towns are now running back. Cyclone again. More units of Shouty being taken down one by one.
This game is end to end. We have those two Raiders that have just been plucked up in the middle of the air and about to get slayed down when they hit the ground. It's just the inevitable right there as the Druids just lie and wait for them to hit that deck. And now it's a question of whether Shouty can reclaim, can rebuild, can get back in the thick of things as he gets his two heroes back up.
Shouty here has no time to wait for his heroes to come back. So he goes over to the tavern, picks up a Farseer. Pato also knows that there's an expansion here. He sends a Quill Beast to try and take that expansion down. Pato with only 44 gold right now, he cannot build another building. So all he has left is his base over there on the right-hand side. If Shouty can destroy all of the buildings of Pato, he will be able to eliminate him from this game without fighting the army. So this is where Shouty here has a decision to make. Is he going to try and regain and build an army, or will he run over there and destroy all the buildings of Pato?
Artillery fire coming in from that Demolisher. The Demolisher now running for his life as Pato launches into Shouty's base. Shouty now going to lead the fire down to that altar there and stop him from reclaiming that hero. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. That Tauren Chieftain is just moments away, but the Altar of Storms is taking a fair bit of damage, down to about 2/3 HP. The Tauren Chieftain is about to siege out there and will unleash all hell to any movement, any units that are moving. Here we go. There is a Cyclone on those Raiders. Bad news.
This is possibly the deciding factor in the game, guys. I need you to cheer to see who you want to win, because we have the Raiders now tossed in the air. The Talons are now being focused on by the Demolishers. Tauren Chieftain in the air. More Raiders in the air. Pato here is now down 2. I don't know how much food count he has left, but Shouty has 62 pop right now. If Snare being casted on those Druid of the Talons, Pocket Factory has been dropped down. The Raiders want to eliminate those Druid of the Talons from the battle.
This is beautiful stuff. They circle around. The Druids are taking fire. Another Druid hits the deck. In comes that Raider from the rear, just slicing down from the back. And that is it. Pato says GG. The crowd love it because Shouty has won.
Such a close game, guys. So amazing. A very nice battle there. Shouty was able to take the win. Pato didn't have a whole lot of choice there left. He had no more resources left to build units. He had to destroy Shouty. That was his only chance, and wasn't able to do so. Shouty got his Farseer back out, Tauren Chieftain back out, Demolishers out, counter Pato, and will now take, most likely, first place in his group.
What an intensely close game there. I mean, one of the best we've seen. Very clever play against the brute force that Pato brought. Great stuff. These two are still expected to progress from their group, but still a fantastic battle there between two great contenders.
Very great game there. If I was Pato, I wouldn't be too worried. Most likely Pato will advance on to the next round as well. And doing so, he will actually be placed in an easier bracket. XIAOT now will be faced in the lower bracket where he will meet against players like Grubby and Fob and Insomnia.
Next up here at the World Cyber Games, we have FIFA with Romania versus Singapore. That will be in just a moment. FIFA live from WCG 2005.
Driven by a passion to win, playing heart to heart, face to face. The challenge of a lifetime stands before us now. Beyond the game, in the shadow of the golden gates, we have come to